Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Megan from Grey Arrow Tarot, and today we are going to look at your life with your future spouse. So, what is your energy together? What are some things you do together? I want to leave this open for whatever wants to come through for you, but that's kind of the general idea of my intention with this reading, of the type of energy that we're going to connect with and the type of insights that I'm intending us to receive. I also want to let you know that if you are catching this video the month it's released, which is February 2026, I do have personal future spouse readings on sale. They will be available through the rest of February, and they will be on sale through the rest of February. Some of you have already taken advantage of that. It's been lovely to read for you. But if you have not and you want to, you have till the end of the month to get in on this reading and on this deal. All of the details are linked in the description box below. But now let's get into today's reading. If you are new, just know that you cannot choose wrong. How this works is you are going to pick a group. This is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, this is pile number 3, and this is pile number 4. Again, you cannot choose wrong. You use your intuition. Whatever group is speaking to you is the pile that has the messages for you. Now, this is a general reading, so every message that is said today may not resonate with you. That's okay. Take what resonates and leave the rest for who it's meant for. So you can go ahead and choose your group, and we will see more about your life with your future spouse. If you would like to pause the video and spend more time with the decks to make a decision, you can go ahead and do that now. Otherwise, when you're ready, you will find the timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see what you're reading. Hey Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's see what's going on in the connection with your future spouse. What is your life like with your future spouse? Okay, we've got 2 that came out here. And that one, and I want to get one more. All right, a bunch flipped over. We're going to take the top one. Okay, let's see what we've got for you. Got an extra card there that I didn't want, and I just like messed all the other cards up. Okay. Let me get these. Actually, you know what? This card was supposed to be here. We will take it. Let's see what we've got for you. All right, so first up we have Metamorphosis, which is the death card on a more traditional deck. So we've got profound change and self-awareness. Next we have the Empress, the Emperor reversed, Wheel of Fortune, the Star reversed, and the Sun reversed. Very interesting. Let's see, I'm not sure where this card's going to go. Here, we'll do them like this. There we go. Okay, so first of all, we have an equal number of cards that are upright and reversed. So I feel like this relationship is going to be really balanced in the sense of, I think it's going to be really balanced overall, but I also am getting like really balanced between like going out and doing some fun things and like being in the world together, but then also coming back in and spending quality time together, like just the two of you. So this could be that like one of you is an introvert and one of you is an extrovert. So like it's like doing both of those things, or you're kind of both towards the middle of the introvert extrovert scale. So you do enjoy going out sometimes, but you also really enjoy staying in. But overall, this is just a very balanced energy that I'm getting here. I also think it's really interesting. The upright cards that we have for you are all major arcana. And actually, oh my gosh, all of your cards are major arcana cards. Wow. So this is a very profound relationship. And of course, I feel like your significant other is almost always going to be a pretty profound relationship, especially if it's somebody that you are marrying or going into a long-term commitment or partnership with. But I'm kind of getting like your influence is very profound. It's like what you bring out in each other allows you to then go into the world like together, but also independently, and kind of shine your light. It helps you to be a very influential person. And this can be in the grand scheme of things, like big picture. It could be you being a little bit more of a well-known person, but it could also be in your community, in your circles. Like I feel like it's just you are really being, there's something about this connection, about this relationship that really allows you to shine, like each of you to shine. And it's like there's a safety net. So like you're willing to go out and be seen and take risks. And you're willing to do that because you know you have a safe place to land if things don't work out. So it helps you stretch outside your comfort zone in a really healthy way. So yeah, I feel like this is a relationship and a connection that really supports natural growth, which makes so much sense. We'll get into our cards now. So with this first card coming out as Metamorphosis, we've got profound change and self-awareness as our keywords here. I don't always use the keywords, but here on this particular card, I feel like it's very relevant. I do feel like, one, I'm getting a couple messages. Like I feel like, again, there's lots of like the energy of like both individually, but also as a connection. And I feel like it's like you individually, this relationship will be incredibly transformational. It's going to cause such a metamorphosis for you. I'm really being drawn to like how we have this, we've got like the pyramid, but then this like beautiful amethyst crystal on top. It's all pointing upward. Like I feel like that is your energy together, is there is just this real elevation energy. So I feel like a lot of time, maybe not a lot of time, but like I think it's like, I'm kind of getting this idea that like a lot of, I don't know why a lot's coming out because I'm not really getting that's a lot. Maybe for some of you it is a lot, but there's this energy of like spending a decent amount of time, I guess really more than the average person, on supporting each other's growth and healing. So it's this energy of like, because I'm getting overall, this is a very safe relationship. This is a very supportive relationship. And one thing that can happen in that environment is that old stuff comes up to be healed because it's safe for you to do that. Like this is when a safe space is created, it helps you purge the old stuff. And I feel like that is part of what's happening in this connection. And this isn't to say it's going to be something like super chaotic or anything, but it's like if you are in this connection with this person and all of a sudden like you feel a sense of safety and some old stuff gets triggered, old stuff comes up, this person's going to be able to hold that really well for you and allow you that space to heal. And then there will be times where the tables are turned and it's going to be you holding the space because this your person has stuff coming up to be healed. But it's just this really beautiful balance of like transformation and evolution. But again, I'm also getting really living a full life. So this isn't like you're going to be like just quarantined and healing all the time, but there is a lot of healing that I think is going to be happening in this relationship. And I also feel like the way this person is like levitating and like so trusting, like this person's body is very slack. And it is like, again, it's to me like I'm getting just this sense of safety that you don't have to be on guard around each other. And I feel like that's actually going to be something that happens pretty quickly. Like it's very early on in the connection that you just feel comfortable with this person and they feel comfortable with you. And like that's the foundation. And then from there, I also feel like it's like as you evolve, you're going to bring real meaningful change to the world. And again, I'm getting both together, like maybe you'll work on something together that's really profound, but also independently. Like this is you tapping into the next version of yourself and bringing something forward that's really important and really valuable that a lot of people will connect with and really need. I think that's beautiful. So next we've got the Empress. So yeah, this is a big nurturing card. I'm getting a sense of, again, like this is slowness and safety. This is like the kind of safety a mother might provide for you to grow and heal. And this is just, to me, it's the energy of the connection. But also, I feel like what I'm getting with this connection, your life together is not rushed. Like, I feel like there's kind of just this ease about it. So if there's something that you guys are planning to do together, like let's just say like you're going out to dinner or whatever, it's not rushed to get out the door. It's like things are done very intentionally is what I'm getting. So when you go to do something, there's this peace and ease with it. Like there isn't this a lot of like, again, like that hustle, hurry, we gotta go. We were just running late from work and now we have to hurry up and get ready and get out the door again. That's not this type of vibe. Like there is just a very balanced energy again, but there's also a lot of space. There's not a lot of pushing. There's space for you to really grow and evolve at your own pace. And I'm noticing the flowers in the back of this card and even on this character's hat. That to me is blooming. Like there's just space created for you to really bloom. And I think it's so interesting that we had the Empress and the Emperor come up next to each other, but in opposite forms. Because to me, what I'm getting with this is like, I also too, the thing with the Empress, this is also some big creative energy. So like I was saying, I feel like there is an energy of like a need to create and like release things into the world. But with this Emperor reversed, what I'm getting is it's coming back to some deep structure within your relationship. So it's like it is like this balance of like, yes, you can go out and be creative and be seen, but this is the card that's really giving me the energy of like having this safety net to come back to. And I feel like it's in reverse because it's not something a lot of people see. Like this is something that's like very private. It's interesting because like passion, the word passion on this card is really jumping out to me. I feel like for you, and this might not be true for everybody, but for a lot of you watching this might be a very passionate relationship, but behind closed doors. Like this isn't, I feel like you two might not be really big on PDA, or one of you might not be. But this doesn't mean the passion isn't there. It's just, there's just this desire to keep it private, to keep it between the two of you. So I feel like, and I'm feeling like that isn't going to be true for everybody, but I feel like for a lot of you watching this, there's just it's almost like, and this isn't like hiding the relationship, it's more keeping the relationship sacred is the energy that I'm getting with this. And it's like, it's the energy of this, it's not anybody else's business. Everybody's going to know you're together, but no one's going to be privy to the passion and the intent. I do feel like your connection, I do feel like is to a degree very intense. But other people aren't going to get to see that. That is something that's just for you. So I do think also with these reversals, like that's part of why spending time together is so important to you, is because you do consider your relationship to be so sacred. So yes, you're going to go out in the world, you're going to have fun, you're going to do some really great, incredible things, but you're also going to come back to each other, and that's really going to be a priority for both of you. With the Wheel of Fortune, so I feel like your life together is going to be very abundant. I am getting like this is energy, like positive energy coming in. This is finances. This is every type of abundance you can imagine. It's in really good balance. Again, like this is just such a balanced reading. The energy of your relationship, of your dynamic is so deeply balanced that like I feel like you have this support. And I also too, I feel like you're generous with what you have. So some of your time together might be spent either doing some kind of charity work, or like even if it's just like donating to charities. I feel like charity and giving back to the world is very important to both of you to some degree. So I do think, again, I'm getting like you will be very comfortable financially. There is a lot of abundance in your connection in your life. And I think you do enjoy it. Like you enjoy it for yourselves too. But you're also very conscious of the positive impact you can have on the world. And you're willing and interested in giving that back. Giving the generosity that's been given to you back and paying that forward in that way. Now with the Star reversed, I love, honestly, okay, so the Star, there is no bad position for the star to come out. I don't believe there's ever a bad position for any card to come out because they all have messages. But the star in particular, to me, this is like, this connection really wakes up your most authentic self. This is somebody who sees you in like deeply, like not how you present yourself to the world. This person makes you feel safe enough to totally drop your guard. And I feel like you do the same because again, this is a very reciprocal, very balanced relationship. So like you do the same for them, which that level of authenticity, oh my gosh, like that is a true connection. And I feel like part of your life together, this is where it's going to be like, this part of the reading feels very specific to each of you. Like whatever is authentic to you, however you want to be spending your time, you are attracting somebody who enjoys maybe not all of the same things you do, but a lot of them. Like if you like to travel, this is somebody who likes to travel. If you like to go to spiritual events, this is someone who likes to go to spiritual events. Like whatever is deeply authentic to you, it will match more than one thing that is deeply authentic to your person. I'm getting like lots of compatibility points here. So there's a lot of things that you're going to be very compatible and very interested in together. And you're going to be spending a lot of your time doing those things. Like this is, I'm kind of getting like almost partner in crime energy when it comes to like an interest that you have. It's like, especially if you have not had somebody who likes this too, or is as interested in something as you are, like I'm almost getting, and again, this is just an example. It's an example of the energy, but like if you are somebody who is really into like a certain fandom and maybe other people in your circle like it and you can talk to them about it, but nobody's as into it as you are. Like you would go to the conventions, you would be all in on the fan gatherings, but you've never had anyone to go with. And maybe you go by yourself, but like it's just not as much fun without a friend who's really into it with you. This is that person coming in and being into it with you and you guys doing these things together. So it's just whatever like makes you authentically you and makes them authentically them. I'm also getting too, even if like there is a little bit of like trade-off too, if there is something that you are really into and they're not really, they'll still go to this event with you. They will still support you in that and like willingly, like being excited, being happy to see you excited, and you're going to want to do the same for them. So I do think there's a lot that you are really into together, but even in the areas where you aren't, you're really good at honoring each other's authenticity and authentic hobbies and interests and cultivating that and like encouraging the other to go for it. Like if it's speaking to you, if it's sparking to you, like, yes, of course you should go to that thing. I will come with you. I will be right beside you. And again, joyfully, because it's like seeing each other so into their thing is really happy and fulfilling for each of you. So I see you like in your life together spending a lot of time doing that kind of stuff. Now with the sun reversed, well, first of all, I think it's interesting. We have abundance coming up twice and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So again, I do feel like we are echoing that this is a very abundant connection. But with the sun reversed, I feel like this is kind of like lining up to me. Like there are some things that like I'm getting again, like the sacredness of this relationship. I think there are some things that you two do together that are just for you. Like you don't tell other people about it. It's something that you just do and it really lights you up. Like the sun being reversed here, I feel like when the sun comes up upright, it's about like really outward success, really things that people can see as achievements. But this like reversal it's that energy of success. It's that energy of triumph and joy, because that's the other thing about the sun. The sun is pure joy. So it's that level of joy, but it's private, it's personal. It's you tapping into something that is truly just for you. So there's just a lot of energy. Again, this is such a balanced connection where you are going out in the world, you are being seen together, you are creating both separately and independently, you are becoming more evolved independently and together. Like it's such a great external connection, but also you have this really beautiful balance of coming inward, being supportive of each other, having this privacy, having this sacred connection that you really, really value. And I do think it really just, it lights each of you up. Like what I'm getting to with the sun is it's like there's a level of joy that I don't think either of you realized was possible. And it's the joy that comes from being fully seen and loved and celebrated for that. And the way that helps you expand and open up to more things that light you up is truly transformational. So I really do see you spending a lot of time doing things that are just like even new. It's like new things, like you're more exploratory because you feel like you have this safe space to be this exploratory. Wow, this reading is longer than I was planning on it being. Let's get into your oracle cards. Let's see what else Spirit can tell us about this connection, about your life with your future spouse. Okay. We've got cunning. So yeah, I feel like both of you are very smart, very intelligent, and very cunning. I am almost wondering, like, again, we got the butterfly here, so that's more transformation and change. That's how deeply supported that is. But I feel like I'm wondering with this cunning, like, if they are kind of very strategic about their, and I'm getting this is coming from them. It could be reversed though. But for most of you, I feel like it's them. They are approaching you and they are, because they know what they want, they are very strategic in how they approach the situation. This isn't to say that's being manipulative. No, it's just I feel like they recognize very early on that you are worth investing in, and they're going to approach you in a very strategic way. Let's see what else we've got for you. Put this in the middle because we got two of this deck. First, we have accept responsibility. Yeah, I feel like, again, I feel like both of you are very responsible. I'm getting both things. Like, one, it's accepting responsibility for yourselves. So this isn't a relationship where, like, one person is expected to, like, or fits the role of, like, parenting the other. You both come into this with, like, you are adults. Like, you are adult humans. And you are responsible for your own thoughts, actions, behaviors, etc. However, there's also a sense of responsibility for the relationship. And you understand your commitment and contribution and how important that is for you to show up in that way. And then we've got more abundance. Yeah, this is a very abundant connection. I'm not sure if one of you is primarily responsible for the abundance, even maybe from the beginning, if one of you is coming in with more money than the other. But it's something that's shared. And I feel like it's something that you really are both cultivating and growing. So this isn't, even if one person comes in with more than the other, this is something that is very much shared and very cultivated. And like, also I do see like you both having your own independent income streams. And let's get any last messages from Spirit on your life with your future spouse. That was like half the deck that flipped over. Literally, quite literally half the deck. I can't even get all the cards out. Hold on, I'm just going to take the top one. Okay, so first of all, we've got retreat. So again, spoil yourself in the morning mist, breathe in nature's sweet scents. This to me is very much giving that energy of like you two retreating together. So I do feel like there is lots of times where you will retreat. You may even travel, even if it's like weekend getaways, that kind of stuff. And then forbearance, don't be deterred by the thorns amidst the roses. So I actually feel like this is really speaking to your connections. Like you are not deterred by the thorns amidst the roses. You are not deterred like when life gets hard. Neither of you are the type to pull away in hard things. You lean in. You are there for each other. You are there. Like this is support and balance. I feel like is the biggest messages I'm getting, the biggest energy that I'm getting from this connection. So when things get hard, again, you really lean into each other. You really support each other. It is just, I'm getting a very beautiful, expansive, supportive, balanced energy, which I think is absolutely beautiful for you. I hope you are feeling the same if you've made it to this point in the reading. But on that note, I am going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonates, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoy this reading, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I would love to see you in future readings. And also, again, if you would like a personal reading, the future spouse readings are on sale. They're on my website, linked below, through the rest of February. There are also other reading options if you want to check those out. And if readings aren't for you, but you do want to support the channel, there is a donation linked below. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and they go into supporting this channel and the growth of the channel. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Let's get a look at your life with your future spouse. All right, we had these two cards come out. Is there two? Yeah, there's two. All right, let's see what else we've got for you. Pile number 2, their life with their future spouse. All right, that was a lot that came out. We'll take the ones that fell on the table. Okay, let's see what we've got. First up, we have the Six of Pentacles, followed by the Ten of Wands, followed by the Three of Wands reversed. Ooh, followed by the Four of Pentacles reversed. The Son of Swords reversed. And the Daughter of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Let's get everyone on the table. Okay, so overall, I think it's really interesting that we've got 4 of your 6 cards are reversed. So to me, that means this is a relationship that is really going to prioritize the connection being together. You might be more interested in staying in together than going out. Doesn't mean like you'll never go out and do things. It's just I feel like you're going to really enjoy the quality time you spend with each other more than anything else. And I think you will be both want to spend a lot of time doing just that. I also think it's interesting that like these cards are a lot darker over here. Like your upright cards are a lot darker than these cards, these more reverse cards that are both like the backgrounds are lighter and there's also more color to them, which again is kind of indicating to me, like I'm getting 2 messages with this. One of or both of you may have had a harder past or like just like really like find yourself like a toll has been taken on your experience with the world. Because these cards are upright. So I feel like it's like almost a little bit of darkness around your experience with the world or even past connections, past relationships. But this connection, like these reverse cards that we're saying is more about like your connection being together, like internally or like not out in the world, but like spending time together. That these cards are lighter. I feel like there's going to be a lot of lightness to this relationship. This person is really going to be supportive of you and really help you feel lighter and more like it's almost like seeing more color in the world. And it's not because like they're on a pedestal, it's just because of the environment that you're creating together and the level of safety and connection of what they're able to make you feel safe enough to express. So I think this is really, really beautiful to start with. But overall, like, okay, I want to get into this a little bit more card by card because I think this is really interesting. So first, with this Six of Pentacles reversed, first, I do feel like this is a very generous relationship. I think you are... So the thing about the Six of Pentacles is this is an energy of give and take. So it is, both of you I feel like are in like of this energy where you are very generous with the resources that you have. I'm kind of getting an imbalance in resources in the sense that like, one of you might have more money while the other one has more time, or one of you might have more like capabilities with a certain skill while the other has capabilities with another skill. Like I'm almost getting like if one of you is a really good writer and the other person is like really good at engineering. So it's like this like complementary energies. So it's like the idea of when you two come together and share resources, there's a lot of stability and a lot of power created in that. So like I feel like you're coming from, and this could also be like you're coming from different backgrounds, maybe culturally, but more like just where you grew up, like what your experiences are. So it's like coming together and bringing these experiences together. It's team energy is what I'm getting. It's like you each are bringing something different to the table and willing to share what you have. And I also feel like too, it's like it's not just sharing what you have, but it's helping the other get more of what the other has. And just to give an example so this is clear, like going back to like if one of you has more money, the other has more time, I'm not talking about like one of you is like fully bringing all of the money and other person's bringing all the time and is going to be like taking care of the house. That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is like if one person's bringing all the money but like they're workaholics, that's not good. So great, they can maybe provide more financially, but the other person, maybe they valued making enough but having more time to themselves, having more time to explore and whatever. So there's going to be a little bit of an exchange there where like the one person who's good with having time might help the other person slow down, work less, be more in the world and be more in this connection, because I do feel like that's going to be really important. But then the other person that has more financial resources, and also I feel like if they have those resources, they probably have knowledge on how to grow those resources. They're going to help the person with more time but not as much money grow their abundance more in a way that does not take their time. So it's just this balance. Like it's sharing skills, it's coming in with different resources and this really beautiful give and take energy. Now, I also feel like with this 10 of Wands, to me, this is having lots of responsibility and lots of things on your plate. And I feel like, again, it's sharing that. So if there is either you or them, or I feel like both of you, where like you just have extra stuff that you are carrying, you're going to be able to share that burden with somebody else and they're going to be able to share things with you. So this is somebody who is like, if you, and I'm not saying like this is like all of your life is that you have all of these extra burdens. Maybe that's true for you, but it's more the idea like when things come up, this person is going, like if you end up like you have some family crisis happen, and maybe for a stretch, like let's just hypothetical situation, someone in your family ends up in the hospital, they're going to be okay, but maybe like it's going to require, they're going to need some extra care. So that's an extra responsibility that you will now step up to help with. This person is going to help with that too. So it's not all going to be on you. And vice versa, when they have things come up, you will do the same. So it's this idea that I'm almost getting to like, if one of or both of you, like you're used to doing things alone, you are used to carrying the responsibility alone. So one of the beautiful things about your life together is that you are not alone anymore, specifically in these responsibilities, that you are not carrying so much, that you are not so overburdened when things happen. Or even just in day-to-day life, like you have help. You have somebody who is invested in taking things off your plate and making your life easier. And I feel like it goes both ways. And I think that's really, really fantastic. Now with this 3 of Wands reversed, I love this energy. So first of all, I love that we have depicted here in this reversal, this is like the triangle is pointing upward. So I feel like there is like this upward momentum that comes from your relationship, specifically with your own growth and evolution, with who you are evolving into. Because I feel like, again, this feels like a really safe foundation that this person is bringing in. Your collective energy is creating a really safe place, and you're interested in spending time together because it feels like, I'm getting cozy energy. Like it just feels like a quiet like bubble. When you are together, it's like a sanctuary. You kind of can drown the rest of the world out, especially if you have dealt with these extra burdens and responsibilities. Like this is really a safe haven energy to me. And I feel like it's because you have this safe haven that you're able to explore a lot more of yourself. The fact that we have like, look at all this color that's happening within this triangle. I feel like it's like you getting a chance to dive into that within yourself and see what else is there. See what else you're interested in if you're not carrying so much all the time, or if you're not alone in all of this. If you don't have to make all of the decisions, if you don't have to carry all the responsibility. So I feel like it's like there's going to be opportunities for each of you, but I'm honestly feeling this very strongly for you, but it could be your partner too. But you're going to have opportunities to really explore yourself in a new way. And this person is going to be really supportive of that. This person is going to be very willing to go with you on some adventure that you want to explore. If the new version of you is emerging, they're going to be supportive of that. They're going to encourage you to see where this goes. Like there is just like, I'm almost getting this energy of like you getting time and energy back from whatever responsibilities you used to handle, and also like having the safe space that you get to heal some parts of your past that may have been a little bit darker, a little bit heavier. And there's just this new, really beautiful, magical version of yourself that wants to emerge. And this person is fully supportive of it. And again, I do feel like there's a degree that I think they will be going through the same thing. But this just feels more to me like they are holding space for you in this way, in this very specific way. But I also do feel like because this card is coming up on the energy for both of you, that I do feel like there is upward growth for them too. But I don't feel like they need it, or I guess I feel like they don't need the space held for them as much as you might, if that makes sense. With this Four of Pentacles reversed, again, I really love this. So this to me also really indicates the sharing of resources. When this card comes up upright, it can mean like you're clinging to things a little bit too much. It's difficult to let go of the resources that you have. But this card coming up in the reverse is like I feel like you don't cling to anything in the best way. Like you value what's important. You're willing to put the time and effort and energy in. But like if things want to leave your life, you let them go. And I also think this is kind of the energy of the two of you together is, okay, I'm getting two messages with this. One, I feel like externally, like as a couple, you do not cling to things. You do not force things to be in your life that don't want to be there. You're very willing to kind of go with where you're guided and with what's feeling good in the moment. And I feel like part of why you're willing to do that is because you know you have each other. It's that kind of energy of like home is where the two of you are. So if something were to happen that it would make sense for you to move or to like let go of like where you're living, you would be willing to do that because as long as you're together, it's okay. Like that's the priority, that's the foundation. But the other message that I'm getting is that you, as much as you're both very invested in this relationship, there is this deep understanding that you only want to be with each other as long as the other person wants to be with you. So, and I don't mean like you're looking to cut and run or anything like that, or they are, but it's this idea that like you are constantly choosing each other every day. And if there ever comes a point that that's not good for you either anymore, it's okay. Like I'm almost saying this idea that like I'm not seeing any breakup with this because it feels, again, it feels like a very safe and sacred bubble, but it's like you have such a good dynamic that you know if anything were to happen, you would part peacefully. Like this isn't a drama thing. And I hope it's coming across correctly. It's just this idea that like you respect each other's choice, I guess is really the bottom line. You respect each other's choice to show up in this connection. And it's like part of how you know this is real is because there's this understanding that if this ever isn't working for one of you, you need to address it. And if it ends with you two parting ways, that's how it ends. But neither of you want to stay in a relationship that could be hurtful to each other or the other person. So it is kind of this like, it's a mutual respect thing is really what I'm getting. Like, again, I'm not really seeing an indication like of this not working out. I'm just saying it's like, it's this energy of freedom and choice. Like you don't feel like you are fully bound to this person. If you ever did want to leave, they would not keep you. They would not try to pressure you to stay, I think is how is the energy. I hope that's coming across right. But it is just, but it's also very safe. Like I love how we have these pentacles being like, they are being held, they are being contained, but they're just being contained with string. So it is a very like stable structure, but it also is easy to, again, like to get out of if something is not working. With the Son of Wands reverse. So the Son of Wands is always a very passionate character. So I am seeing a lot of passion in this connection. But I also am feeling like with the Son of Wands, like, so the wands in general can speak to spirituality. And I am getting, like we talked about, like there's this kind of like bubble. And I do feel like this is a very like deeply spiritual connection. Like this is something that like you both feel in your soul. And I feel like it's something like you spend a lot of time nurturing. You spend a lot of time really taking care of this connection. And again, it's just such a beautiful spark. Like I love that we have the way this wand comes up and really sparks out. And also again, with this snake, snakes really speak to like the shedding of skin, change and transformation. So I do feel like, again, you are both really supportive of evolution, of the next version of you. And I feel like you spend a lot of time, like, I mean, obviously I'm getting that you spend a lot of time together, but I'm also getting that like you make space for you each to do your own thing. for you to go off and figure out who you are, do hobbies that you enjoy, and then come back together. And those things that you do outside of each other are going to naturally change and influence you. Like if you have a new interest and you discover that and that changes and influences you, this person's going to be supportive of that change. And vice versa. I feel like they go off and do their own thing too, and you're just as eager to meet the next version of them as they are to meet the next version of you. Because we're always changing and growing. I feel like at least if you're healthy, if you're connected with yourself, you are always changing and growing. Now with the Daughter of Pentacles here, so for me, I feel like this is a sense of financial ease. But I'm also getting like it doesn't necessarily look like how most people would see financial ease. So when the Daughter of Pentacles is upright, this is the Page of Pentacles on a more traditional deck. The Daughter of Pentacles can really speak to kind of getting a new business idea, putting it forward. And it's usually a business idea. It's like the beginning of profiting with a sense of ease. Like the path just kind of unravels for you. But it's the beginning of the journey. With this Daughter of Pentacles, I do feel like you have a sense of financial ease, but like it's almost like this reversal to me, it almost feels unconventional, or it feels like, okay, here's what I'm getting as the example. And again, this is just an example. This is absolutely not what every one of you is going to be doing. But it's this idea that like you have, like if somebody who has, or a couple, like I've seen this online, like couples who have financial ease because they've decided to like rent their house and live in an RV, and like they work remotely and their expenses are down and they're doing lots of exploring. That's unconventional, right? They aren't working a traditional job where they're making lots of money. They've decided to pare down their expenses, see the world, make money that way. But yet they have a lot of ease, they have a lot of freedom. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting, where you have a lot of ease, you have a lot of freedom, but it might not be in the conventional or traditional way. It might not be because you have literally the abundance of money. It might be because you have created space to live a full life. That doesn't mean you can't also have an abundance of money, but I just feel like there is a nature to your life and to your finances together that are just unconventional. But it really works for you. Like it really works for you. It's really supportive of you. And I feel like also too, that could be part of what takes some of this responsibility off your plate, is because you're willing to think out of the box. You're willing to do things differently in a way that like you hadn't considered before or didn't seem possible when you were by yourself. But now that you have a partner, you can do things differently. And you can do things a little bit more unconventionally. So there is an element to your life together that's unconventional, but again, it works for you. You are happy, you are protected. It's like you are also expansive. All right, let's get some oracle cards in here for group number 2. Grow, also with that triangle. Yeah, this partnership is very supportive of growth. And I do think, especially as we gotten deeper into this reading, I do think your partner does do a great deal of growth too. I feel like you might lead the way with what I was getting with this card, but like, I feel like whatever this unconventional thing is that you're doing, it helps you both really grow and expand. It's like you both seeing that there's just new and different ways to live that are possible that you hadn't considered and hadn't really believed to be feasible. And when you do, it just pushes you to grow naturally. It pushes you to get outside your comfort zone, to see new layers of yourself and to really let those layers shine. What else do we have for pile number 2? Okay, first up, we have love. So that's wonderful to get in a reading like this. Yeah, this person is very committed to you, very committed to the relationship. Your love is very strong. And I do think that's really the backbone of this relationship. That's part of why you can do these unconventional things, is because, again, it really comes down to the two of you. You can make any unconventional change. You can think outside the box. You can really evolve. Again, we've got butterflies, so more transformation. Like, this is just a very supportive, loving relationship. And it's rooted in respect in a way that really helps you. And like this too, like not just respect, but it's also rooted in like in mutual understanding. So it's like, as long as you have that understanding, you can really bloom. And here we've got take the lead. Again, this to me is really speaking to the lack of convention. It is you, like, you're not just going along the path that has been laid out for you. Like, you're not in this connection. This isn't a connection where you're spending your time and your life together, like having the 2.5 kids and house with the picket fence. Maybe to a degree that could be part of it for some of you, but even within that, like, you are breaking the mold. You are doing things differently. You are doing things unconventionally. You are taking the lead. And for some of you, I feel like it's like when you take the lead to do these things differently, you're going to inspire others to do the same. Because that's the thing with taking the lead, is it typically means someone is following you. But I feel like it's like your relationship and the way you're living your life is actually very inspirational to others in the world. All right, a bunch flipped over. We will take the top card. Okay. All right, so first we've got flow, which very much sticks to like stuff we've been talking about, where like you don't hold on to things too tightly. That's the energy. That's the energy I was trying to get at with this Four of Pentacles reverse, that you go with the flow and you are willing to flow. And if life takes you in a surprising place, you are willing to flow together. And if for some reason it would take you separately, you'd be willing to flow with that too. I don't see that happening, but it's the willingness. It's that willingness to be open to whatever's coming next. And patience. Everything can be accomplished at nature's pace. So yeah, I feel like there is an aspect to this relationship that is very patient, especially if one or both of you has some darker stuff in your past. Like, you might need that patience from your partner, or they might need that patience from you to really open up, to really settle into this connection. But it's like once you're in and you're in this bubble, you're all in. But it just might take some time to kind of warm up to each other, and to really feel deeply safe in this, especially if you're healing from past experiences. So patience, I think, is important, but it's also present. And on that note, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, group number 2. If you enjoyed this reading, please leave a comment. Tell me all about it. Tell me how it resonated. And give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future readings. And if you would like a more personalized experience, you can, again, find that info linked below. The future spouse readings are available and on sale through the rest of February 2026. And there are other readings that are available year-round. If you want those, you can also check those out. Again, linked in the description below. And if a reading is not for you, but you still want to support the channel, I do have a donation link. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated. And they go to support the channel and help it grow. But thank you so much for being here today. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's see your life with your future spouse. What will your life together be like? Here we had 2 that just fell out. There's another one that flipped over. Where'd it go? Hang on, I'll find it. Maybe it didn't flip over. Maybe I won't find it. Oh no, here it is. I found it. Let's get you a couple more. There we go, a couple more. Perfect. Okay, pile number 3. We've got first up the Queen of Swords, followed by the Emperor, the King of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So yeah, this is super interesting to me. I think, first of all, the fact that most of your cards are upright tells me that I feel like you as a couple might really enjoy going out and doing things together, being out in the world together. This could be like date nights, but also vacations and travel, or just going out, like picnics. Like I'm sure you will enjoy spending quality time indoors together too. But this, to me, the upright cards are more like going out, doing things, experiencing the world. I also think it's really interesting that like the pattern that we have here, where we've got Queen of Swords, Emperor, so major arcana, King of Swords, so King and Queen of both of Swords coming out, alternating with these major arcana here with the Hierophant. I I do think this, we've got, with the two major arcanas, this will obviously be a very noteworthy connection. But also I think it's interesting with the Queen and King and the Two of Pentacles coming out. I feel like this restores a lot of balance to both of your lives. This connection, I think, restores a lot of balance to both of your lives, because we've got the King and Queen of Swords. To me, you have the same suit coming up, masculine and feminine energy. So this is bringing a good deal of duality into this connection. It does not matter your gender. Everybody has both energies, but typically people have more of one than the other, and they're more comfortable in one energy than the other. And when you have people who are like one person more comfortable in their feminine, one person more comfortable in their masculine, when that comes together, that's where you get a really powerful duality. So I feel like you have that in this connection, especially again with this King and Queen of Swords coming up. I think that's very interesting. So yeah, let's get into this a little bit more card by card. But I am getting, again, there's a real sense of balance here, a real sense of safety, and also a real sense of like wisdom. Between the Swords cards coming up, also the Hierophant, like I feel like there's a lot of wisdom in this connection. And also you're willing to lean on each other's wisdom. Like you are willing to ask each other for advice. I feel like that's a big piece of your life together, is that you really value each other's opinion of a situation. If you need a take on something, or you want to, like, or even if you're looking for validation, your partner is going to be able to provide that for you. I think talking things through is very, is something that I think you do a lot together. And again, this is both sided. This isn't one person constantly coming with their problems and expecting the other person to fix it. This is each of you have a really healthy support for each other. Yeah. I love that. Okay. Let's get into this a little bit more card by card. So with the Queen of Swords energy, I feel like this connection is very supportive. Like we've got all of this butterfly symbolism here. So this connection for me is very supportive of change and transformation, very supportive of growth and evolution. And it's almost like I am getting, like with these butterflies, like I feel like it's a connection where you might each come into it with, like, I don't want to say young. Maybe it's young, but you might come in with it with like new, like, I guess I'm not finding the right words for this. Give me a moment. I feel like you come into this connection in a way that's like, it is caterpillar energy. Like whether you realize it or not, I feel like no matter where you are in life, you might not feel like a caterpillar, but you come into this connection with kind of caterpillar energy. I think both of you. And then this connection helps you really turn into a beautiful butterfly. It's like you are bringing you in. Like you are bringing everything about you in, but then you have a safe place to really go into a cocoon with this person. And this person lets you explore and grow and change. And when you emerge, you have butterfly energy. And I don't really mean like emerging from the relationship, but it's almost like I'm kind of getting this idea of like what you personally offer to the world. Like you are definitely coming in with things. You are definitely coming in with dreams, desires, goals. Here it is. This is how this is the energy I've been trying to describe. You are coming in with dreams, desires, and goals. Maybe you are successful, and maybe you've brought some of those dreams into reality currently. But I feel like both of you are coming in with real dreams, desires, and goals for the future. That maybe they're dreams and goals that you have had for a while but haven't been able to fully execute. This relationship is giving you the foundation to really birth those dreams and goals. And it's like together with the wisdom we talked about earlier, the wisdom and support that you have in each other, that is what helps bring this into reality. And there's also, again, it's the support, like you are supported in moving forward. So it's like, I feel like to a degree, these could be personal dreams and goals. I feel like most of them are more personal, but also if it's just like a dream that you've had for your life, like if you've always wanted to like build a house, this person is going to be fully on board with that and want to help you make that happen and want to make that happen with you. So it's that kind of energy. And also too, with the Queen of Swords, hold on, we're not done with this card. With the Queen of Swords, I love that we have this sword here, because to me that is the sword of truth. Like, and that we have both like the masculine and the feminine, to me, is being represented by these swords cards, that is an energy of truth. I feel like this is a very honest connection. Your life together is very honest. Like you prioritize telling each other what's going on, like good communication, excellent communication. Again, with these swords cards, you prioritize telling each other what's going on. You prioritize if something's not okay, you're willing to voice that with each other. If someone does something that is upsetting or hurtful, whether they meant it to be or not, there's a conversation about it. It's not like shaming and blaming. There's an honest interest in making the relationship better for everyone. And there's real accountability, because I feel like that's also what a key part of healthy communication is, real accountability. So if you were to bring something up to your partner, like, hey, when you did this thing, I don't think you meant this, but when you did this thing, it was really hurtful. They're going to hear that and do things differently and apologize. So I feel like, again, it's a relationship that's really based on honesty, trust, mutual respect, and just clear communication, honest communication. And like you want that from each other. I feel like that's something like you were very clear about from the start, is that you want to have those types of conversations. You want to have space for that. And also too, you know how to approach situations in a way that's really generous to the other person. I feel like sometimes where those types of conversations can go off the rails from the start is when someone comes in with a blaming attitude. Like, yes, they might be hurt, but they're not coming in with the most generous assumption of their partner. You know, I feel like most cases, if we're in healthy relationships, our partners are never trying to hurt us, right? They're never trying to do something to upset us. That doesn't mean they didn't do it. But still, I think coming at it from a generous perspective, assuming they did not want to hurt you or you did not want to hurt them, that's going to make the conversation go a lot easier. So like, I feel like it's like you don't have to worry about being attacked in this connection. If there's ever something that you are doing that your partner doesn't like or is hurting your partner, they're going to come to you with a generous assumption. They're not going to expect the worst of you, and vice versa. Now, with this Emperor energy, I feel like, okay, I'm getting two messages with this. One, I think it's really interesting that we have this character, their solar plexus chakra is really being highlighted here. So I feel like this is a relationship that really nurtures your personal power, each of your independent personal power, and like celebrates it. You each want to push the other deeper into their power. And really, really put that power out into the world. So it's like, it is truly celebrating what makes you special, what makes you unique, and cultivating that and growing that and nurturing that and not being threatened by each other's power. Like this is, again, it's a very healthy connection that you see your powers independent and you see your connection together stronger the more powerful each of you gets. So this is really nurturing that power, nurturing what you each bring to the table. And what I mean by bring to the table, like your unique gifts and strengths. So nurturing those unique gifts and strengths and seeing how they can go out into the world. I also like with the Emperor, again, I feel like there's a real energy of like understanding how important your connection is and prioritizing protecting it. Because the Emperor is a very protective character. And I feel like there is this energy of like part of your life together is being very clear on your boundaries with other people and with each other. But I feel like because this card is upright, it's your boundaries with society, with the world, with what you share with people, what you don't. You just really value this connection deeply. And protecting it is a priority, always. Now with the King of Swords here, there's an element of your relationship that's very direct. Like I love that we have this character, this King of Swords, he is looking straight on. And then we have these birds that are flying straight on. So again, this is just, there's an energy that is very direct. I feel like, I'm wondering if at the start of the connection, if someone was very direct in their pursuit of the other person. Someone very direct that like, this is my person, very intentional, very upfront about like, I want to date you, basically. And like, I want to get to know you. And then just very intentional, like, this is working well for me. Are you ready to go to the next level? Like, this is somebody who is just like one person, and maybe both of you at different points in the relationship, but there's just a lot of very direct communication. It's not just good communication, it's direct, which but direct communication is good communication, but I don't think all good communication has to be as direct as this energy is, because this is just really calling it like they say it. But I also feel like too, the thing with the King of Swords I think is important to remember. You know, we talk about really both the king and the queen as being people who are very direct, who aren't afraid to tell the truth and to be honest. But the thing with these cards when they're upright is like, this is in a healthy way. So they're not doing this to be cruel. I feel like sometimes, especially the Queen of Swords gets a bad rap for being cold. That to me is one interpretation of Queen of Swords reversed energy. When the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords are upright, they know how to be honest and direct without being cruel. Even if, of course, you can only soften things so much. You can only like dampen the blow so much. So there's going to be an element where things might land and be hurtful to somebody, or they might be hurt by what's said or not like what's said. But these are people who are going into situations looking to be as honest as they can while being as kind as they can. And that is, again, the dynamic that I'm getting in this relationship. Kindness is a priority. This isn't somebody, because part of having good communication is understanding that leading with kindness is going to get you the best results. So I feel like, again, this is just an energy of the communication is off the charts for this connection. And with that said too, I feel like talking is actually going to be a very big part of your life. Like I'm getting like long talks together. Like that might be one of your favorite things to do together, is to just sit and have long conversations about anything and everything. Like if you are talking about bringing a dream into reality, you'll sit and dissect that and talk about the dream and talk about what's possible. And if you aren't, like if you were talking about like just life, like the meaning of life, things that are going on, past, like just going into detail, like you want to know each other in a really deep and intimate way. And it's like both sharing experiences, but also sharing points of view and being really safe and receptive to that. Like this person is going to, I feel like both of you, it's like what's shared is seen as sacred and it is kept in the vault. And there is just this really beautiful energy of being able to tell each other anything without fearing shame, judgment. I mean, even if it doesn't mean like you're always going to understand each other completely, or totally be on the same page, but it's like you will be met with curiosity. If you have an unconventional idea, if you bring an unconventional topic up or have an unconventional take, even if your partner doesn't truly like on board with it or totally get it, it's like they're going to be curious about it and they're going to be accepting of it. So yeah, there's just lots of really deep communication. I think that's a really big compatibility point for you. And that's a really important part of your connection. It's something that you spend a lot of time, a lot of your life together is just talking and really digging in. And this feels like a very rooted connection. It feels very grounded and very like stable. And then with this Hierophant here, what we talked about earlier, this to me, Hierophant speaks to being a guide, a teacher. In some interpretations, it's more of a religious figure. To me, it's also spirituality. It's leading people forward. And I feel like you kind of do this for each other. It's part of these deep conversations that you're able to have is you share different points of view, you share different opinions, you have different perspectives, but also they are perspectives that, even though I said in the last one, like when you bring something unconventional, they're going to get it. But for the most part, I feel like you are able to understand each other's brain really well. So it's like, while you each have a different perspective and point of view and insights, those insights are really compatible with each other. So I do feel like that's why you turn to each other as guides. Like I think you really see each other as guides, as sounding boards. Even if you don't always take the other person's advice, it's the ability to have the conversation and get the point of view that helps you move forward. So it's not even like you're always going to be bound and always listening to everything the other person says and doing what the other person says. No, it's just the other person has insights that helps you shape your vision and help you shape your direction. And I feel like they do the same for you. Like it's both sides. It's all both sides. Or you do the same for them. But yeah, there is just this real, and again, we have this straight, oh my gosh, like 3 of these characters are all looking straight on. So yes, there is a very direct nature of this relationship. And I also feel like too, when you decide you want something, I think this is a characteristic each of you have. So when you put this together, this might be something to kind of check yourselves on. I feel like both of you are very driven. Like when this swords energy, this direct energy, it's like when you know you want something, you are going to go after it. So it might be worth like And I think that's great. Like, that is wonderful. You will get things done. You will make dreams come true. You'll make your dreams come true. You will shift realities. But I think it's also going to be important to kind of create a little space of pause to just like reevaluate, time for the idea to grow before you go off to the races. And I feel like that's just calling in a little bit more of the Queen of Swords energy, calling in this more feminine pause before you charge forward. This doesn't mean you can't and shouldn't charge forward. It just means you don't have to be like jumping on every new idea, every new thing that comes in. Give it time to cook, give it time to rest. But overall, I do feel like this is a dynamic you are going to be spending a lot of your life just making things happen for each other and like for yourselves and for each other and for your relationship and connection. And then here with this Two of Pentacles reversed, this is really interesting. Like, first of all, this is really part of what's giving me like the really rooted energy. All of this greenery, we have literally like this tree that's like going all around and like kind of coming together, like roots commingling. I feel like that is you. This connection is really deeply rooted. And I also think part of the reason this is reversed is I'm not sure other people realize how deep this connection is. Because I think, again, the swords are a little bit more, present more logically. They present more, like less emotional, more logical. But in a healthy swords dynamic or in a healthy swords energy, there is emotion. There is consideration of emotion. Emotion is present. It's just typically led by more brain-based or communication-based energies. So I feel like this reversal is that this is a very emotional connection. This is a very passionate connection. It's a very deep connection. And I think it's spurred by these conversations that you have. Like, it is definitely intellectual, personality, compatibility, all of that kind of stuff. And that's what really roots the connection. And because of that, I don't feel like people realize how deep this connection is, because I just think that it's not something that you lead with publicly. Like, I'm not getting big PDA energy here, because I do think that's one thing about swords. I do think they're a little bit more reserved. Doesn't mean you can't, or that'll be true for everybody. But for a lot of you, I am getting the sense that this is just more like how you present people. And this doesn't even mean that like you have to really do no PDA at all. It's just people do not realize how deep your relationship is, because you are more reserved compared to how you are in private. That's the balance here, because the Two of Pentacles is also a card of balance. So I feel like it is a little bit of just balancing what you share and when. But again, it's a very deep connection. It's deeper than most people realize, but it's not really their business anyway, so that's totally fine. Let's add some oracle cards in. What else do we have? Okay, we've got reveal. Very interesting. So yeah, I feel like going off this too, it is interesting because I do think actually, I think for you guys, you're going to be revealing a lot about yourselves. There's more to each of you than you realize when you first meet. I think that could even be the swords energy coming out, that you might present more logical, but then when you get together, you realize how deeply emotional you both are and your connection to your emotions and your passion. And there's just facets of you and yourself that you do not show right away. So this connection, I feel like you are like revealing to each other as you get to know each other. And I feel like even throughout your life, I think there might be new layers of you that emerge that like you just didn't realize before. You didn't know about yourselves before. So I think that is part of your relationship, part of your life together, is constantly revealing new things about yourself and being drawn to new interests. I think that's also the thing about the swords, is the intellect really being, and like learning might be really important to you. You might like to learn new things together and try new things together. Let's see what else we have here for pile number 3. Ooh, that's way too many. We will take the top card. Okay, so first up we have cut your losses. Okay, I think this is something you both are really good at. So this is total swords energy. It's literally why you have the swords. If something is not working for you, you are not afraid to cut your losses and run. And I'm not talking about each other in the relationship. I'm talking about things outside. Like going back to just that example we had earlier about like if you wanted to build a house, if you start going down an endeavor and like it's not working out, there's things that are not going right with it, you'll cut your losses and you'll try to start again later. You're not going to keep investing in things that are not working out. So that's where, as much as you might want the outcome, that's where the swords really lead, is that you're not going to let your emotions keep you in a situation longer than necessary, longer than it's actually good for you. You both have, I think, a very clear sense of when something just is not working, and you will cut your losses and move on. And I think that's, in a lot of ways, that's really good, because like you're on the same page with that kind of stuff. It's never going to be a fight. It might be a discussion, but it's not going to be a situation where like one of you really wants to like keep building the house, even though this isn't working out. It's not the right contractor or whatever. You'll have a conversation about it. You'll weigh the pros and cons. And when it just becomes very clear that this is not the path forward, you will cut your losses and move on. You'll be on the same page about that. Self-regulation. Yeah, I feel like this is beautiful. You each have a lot of self-regulation. This is like two people coming together who have done their work to a degree, at least, who have done their healing work. And you are willing to be grounded for each other. You recognize when, if you're in a conversation or if you're in a situation where you are more activated, you know when you have to step away. Like your regulation is very much on you and their regulation is on them. Doesn't mean you can't support each other's regulation, but it's not like a responsibility of the other person to always be grounding and regulating each other in the relationship. This is this is a beautiful connection where I'm getting like two independent people coming together to share a life together. That's really the energy that I'm getting. So this is, your life together will be all about, yeah, just like coming together, supporting each other, and taking responsibility for your own stuff in a good way. You're also, I mean, you'll help each other, of course. Like, it's a partnership. But it's about, I'm losing my train of thought as I'm shuffling the cards. It's about your connection to yourself first and foremost. I hope that makes sense. I think I got a little rambly there. I'm sorry about that. Let's get your last messages. Last messages for group number 3. What did we just say? Grounded. Keep your roots and stand taller than the trees. Yeah, I feel like, again, this is a very grounded connection. This is a very deep connection with these roots and with this regulation. I feel like, again, this is two more or less grounded people coming in to a connection together. And we have humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty, yet they bloom regardless. Yes, this is two people in their power. Like, this is two people coming into a connection and they're not threatened by each other's power. I think we talked about with the Empress card. I forget if that came up with the Empress card, if that was another reading, but this idea that there is this power that you each have that you're bringing. Did I say Empress? It's Emperor. There is this power that you are each bringing to this connection, and you are each really willing to help each other grow and cultivate that. So that is just so beautiful. I love that for you. I love this connection so much. If this reading resonated, please tell me how in the comments. If you enjoyed this reading, please give a video a like, subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future readings. And also, again, if you would like a personal reading, the Future Spouse readings are on sale right now and available till the end of February 2026. If you catch this video later, you still want a personal reading, there are other options that you can find. All that is linked in the description box below. And if a reading is not right for you right now, but you would like to support the channel, I do have a donation link. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and they just go right back into the channel. But thank you so much for being here today. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey Pile 4, welcome to your reading. Let's see what your life with your future spouse is like. I've had one come out for you. Let's see what else we've got. For pile number 4, their life with their future spouse. Pile number 4, their life with their future spouse. We get one more for you. Pile number 4. Something wants to come out. They keep like half flipping over and then going back in. There we go. Okay. Okay, first up we have the Two of Swords reversed, followed by the King of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay. All right, so what I'm getting here, first of all, I think it's very interesting that purple is such a prominent color. We have green and purple. So I feel like this connection is going to be very intuitive with the purple coming out, and very even spiritual to a degree. This could mean that you are both into spirituality, like tarot, that kind of stuff, or at least that you consider like your connection is of a spiritual level. Like it feels like a spiritual connection. I think that could also be a real possibility. With the green coming out, that's some real heart chakra stuff. So I feel like for some of you, like this is very healing for your heart chakra. Like if there are times in the past that you have either been like haven't had good relationships, and this could be romantic relationships, but also platonic, familial, all types of relationships, this is going to be a very healing connection for that. And I feel like that could be true for both of you in this connection. But I'm actually getting like that for you specifically. This is going to almost like restore your faith in love is coming through. And I feel like also just restore your faith in people, like in the goodness of people and the goodness of humanity. I also think it's really interesting. So we've got most of your cards are upright, but not by much. So I feel like this is a pretty balanced connection. There's also this energy of like you might enjoy going out a little bit more because we have 3 of your cards are upright compared to the 2 reversal. So you might enjoy going out more, being in the world, trying new things together. That might be something that you spend a lot of your time doing, especially your time together doing. So let's go ahead and get into this card by card. With the Two of Swords coming up reversed, I feel like you two are really good at making decisions together. Like when the Two of Swords comes up, it is a card of choice. It's a card of decision. When it's upright, it can speak to like needing to trust your intuition more. But also when this card comes up in reverse, I feel like for you, it's like you don't make decisions, especially big decisions, without consulting each other. And this isn't to say like the other person is like controlling you. It's just if you are going to do something that would impact the other person, it's a consideration is what I'm getting at. So it's not coming from a place of control or a need to check in. Like if you don't, something bad will happen. No, it's just they're considerate of you and you're considerate of them. And I feel like too, like when you make decisions, because like we talked about, when this card comes up, it can really speak to a more intuitive or an encouragement to be more intuitively led. So I feel like as you might weigh pros and cons of things, but it's going to come down to what actually feels right to you, to both of you. You can have all of like a big list, pro con list to do something. Like let's just say you're picking a place to live. You might have a whole pro con list for one specific house, and the pros are huge. But yet you still don't feel like it's the right place. And I think it's something like you are both kind of on the same page about like if it doesn't feel right, we shouldn't do it. So there's just lots of consideration for choice, but also lots of consideration for being comfortable and things feeling good and feeling right. And if something doesn't feel right to one of you, that's enough to not do it. So it's not like the other person, I feel like it's, again, I'm getting consideration is huge for this connection. And if one person wants something, but it doesn't feel right to the other person, no one's going to bulldoze each other to make what they want happen. So just lots of consideration is coming through as being really important, a really key factor of this relationship and how you spend your life together. It's just being very considerate of each other. With this King of Swords, I really love like the posture of this person. It's very relaxed. Like they're leaning forward, they're interested, but they're also very relaxed. The King of Swords is also typically a pretty decisive character, a very intelligent character. So I do feel like there might be a lot of, especially with 2 swords coming out, that's the most prominent. Oh no, we also have the 2 Pentacles card. So with the 2 swords cards though, I do feel like communication is going to be very important. And I feel like also like very direct communication, very honest communication. I'm also looking at the mountains in the background here, and I feel like this connection will be very supportive of you. I feel like this is together, but also independently, like overcoming challenges and making a plan, getting very strategic. If there is a challenge that one of you is faced with, it's something that you have support with. Like you sit down together. It's like, how can we help? How can we make this happen? And it's not done because, again, like the posture I was noticing, this like leaned in, interested, invested, but also relaxed. Things aren't done, I feel like, in your connection. They're not done from a tense place. They're not done from a sense of like desperation or urgency or scarcity. It's like, let's slow down. Let's figure it out. Like, we're smart people. We can make this work. And I feel like, again, like it's strategy. There's a very strategic tilt to this connection and to supporting each other in that way. I'm also noticing these birds back here, and I feel like, again, it's like it's creating space to fly, helping each other spread their wings a little bit more. Even if you feel like you are someone who spreads your wings, this person and this connection is going to be supportive of you spreading them even wider. So I think part of how you spend your life together is supporting each other, but also spreading each of your own wings. Like there is a sense of like you are feeling supported enough. And I feel like it could be part of this like strategic foundation that you set in this connection, that you are going to talk things out. You are going to strategize. You are going to make a plan and find a path. That's going to make you feel comfortable in taking these kinds of risks, in spreading your wings a little bit further than you're comfortable, and trying new things and putting yourself out there in a new way, and really climbing and overcoming these mountains and challenges that you might face. Now, with this Ace of Pentacles, I am feeling like you might be called, part of how you might spend your time, you might be called to start a business together of some kind, or even if it's like a side business, maybe it's not your full-time thing. But for a lot of you, I think it is your full-time thing, and you're really called to invest. Like I think it's interesting, we have this Paul, and to me, the Paul is like giving the pentacle, and it's putting the pentacle on this path of this very abundant growth that we have here. So I feel like it's like you are willing to invest in something together and grow something together. And it actually works really well for you. Like there are some couples that like would not do well working together and have tried it and don't do well working together. And there's some couples that really thrive that way. I feel like you are a couple that would really thrive working together. Again, I think it goes back to the strategy, communication, and consideration. This is all making so much sense. This, like, because you have this foundation of communication and strategy and the consideration of each other, that is why you are able to build a business. That is why you are able to build an income stream together in that way. And it's because, and that's part of why you work so well together. It actually really works for you, is because you're willing to consult each other and consider each other and make plans together. And you talk a lot through. There's just lots of really good communication. And that leads to some really abundant thing that you will start together with the Ace of Pentacles coming out, like in this idea of your life together. I feel like it's like you just have this spark, and it's like, I'm almost getting this idea, like this like image I'm getting is like two people sitting and like you're kind of talking, and maybe one person shares a dream and another person's like, oh my gosh, like I would either love to do that, or I've thought about that. Like I have also liked that idea. And then like you kind of keep talking about it. It's like, should we do this? Should we try? And you decide to do it. And like, I do see this coming to fruition for you. With all of this green, with all of this growth, with all of this abundant imagery that we have here, I do see whatever it is that you decide to do really coming to life. And it's also interesting with this bee, like, you know, bees pollinate, right? They take some of the pollen and they take it to either, sometimes it's another plant, sometimes it's back to their hive. Like, there's this idea though of like taking something from one endeavor and it like spreading into your life, like spreading into another area of your life. So I feel like it's like whatever you do, I think this endeavor is going to really positively influence your life in a way that you're not expecting when you start. And I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that looks like. I think it's going to be very unique to each of you, but there is just something here that it's like you're willing to put this investment in, and it's something you're kind of excited about. It's something you're almost doing, I think, more for fun than anything, but it's just going to grow into this really positive force in your life, and it's going to be something that you can take, maybe it's the profits from, and really use in other areas. And which leads us to this Three of Cups here. I feel like you're gonna have a lot to celebrate. I also think celebration in general is really big for you too. This could be anniversaries and holidays, but also just like when someone has an accomplishment, whether it's both of you together with this Ace of Pentacles endeavor, but just in life, when someone has an accomplishment, you are each other's hype people. Like, you are there for it. You are going out to dinner. Like, you are celebrating the wins. And these are big wins, but also small wins. This is just such a supportive connection. And I think it's also getting rooted in gratitude. So it's like when you have that gratitude, when you have that positive energy of celebrating even the small things, that's part of what keeps this connection growing. And part of what I think attracts more of this like abundant energy with them that I'm getting with this Ace of Pentacles. That's what attracts more to you. And it's because you're willing to celebrate these small things. It's because you're willing to really invest in the time to step away and see the accomplishment. It's not always about the next thing with this connection. This connection is very much about being in the moment and trying things out and maybe strategizing, like you do want to increase your success, but it's about the journey and it's about the wins that you get along the way. And I see you just being very into celebrating those wins. And again, I do think this is like more traditional celebrations. Like, as much as I see you as building something profitable, this isn't like workaholic energy. This is really about just getting to experience life together and to celebrate life together and to be there for each other. And lastly, with this Two of Pentacles, I am getting, it's interesting. Let's look at this card upright for a second. So we have this character who's balancing on an egg, which is so interesting. Because typically eggs are pretty fragile, right? You don't want to balance on one. But we have this character balancing on an egg and balancing these two pentacles. So I feel like, one, with this card coming up in the reverse, I feel like it's like, I think you guys are actually exceptional at balancing together, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that other people don't see. So it's like, how do you balance like your whatever this business thing is and your relationship? There are strategies and boundaries you have in place to do that. And it's also like things that other people would consider too fragile to touch, I think you're willing to touch. So it's like these conversations that you're willing to have, these very direct and honest conversations, this good communication, that's why you can make this work. Like we said, but it's like because you're willing to have hard conversations, you're willing to have conversations that some people would see as like too fragile or like, oh, we don't want to talk about that. That might upset the apple cart. No, you are willing to have the conversations, and that's why the apple cart doesn't get upset. That's why you can have the life you have. That's why you can celebrate wins. That's why you can do all of this kind of stuff, is because you are just willing to go there. And it's also, to me, it's very private. Like, that's what this reversal is really indicating. Again, it's stuff people don't see. It's the things you're doing behind the scenes that make what people can see look so, I want to say it looks flawless. It's not. But what people see is like thriving business, see you celebrating each other, maybe even some clear communication and strategy. You might share that. But the consideration you have, because these are reversed, I feel like this is more private stuff. So those are things that are happening behind the scenes that are creating this balance, that are creating this expansion. Excuse me. And it's leading you to just this really, like, trying to find the right word. It's leading you to a really powerful place. It is powerful. But it looks so much more effortless than it is. And that's not to say that you're trying for perfection or you're trying to put up a front. I don't think this connection is like, I don't think you care about that. That's not your intention with this. Your intention is to create systems that work for you. And in doing that, the systems you create behind the scenes just do give a certain presentation. But I think that's kind of like, that's not something I feel like you should change or worry about. This isn't about how you present yourself. This is about doing what works for you. I think that's also an important note. You need to do what works best for you. And I think there are aspects of this that are very unconventional. Like the way you go about things, the systems you create are not what most people would do. And that's kind of the point. That's why this works. All right, let's see what else we've got for you here in the Oracle cards. All right, we've got 2 that flipped over. This matches the energy of this connection so much. Collaborate. This is a very collaborative partnership. You will spend a lot of your life together collaborating on things. And I feel like this is obviously your big business. Like whatever this is going to be a collaboration. But it goes back to this consideration. You are just a very collaborative couple. You like to work together. You work well together. You are willing to talk things out. You're willing to make a plan. You're willing to move forward. I mean, I feel like we've talked about this already, but this coming up is just really hammering that home. And care. There's a deep care and respect here. And again, that's why it works. And you care about each other's accomplishments. You care about your collective accomplishments. This is not the type like that's going to miss a birthday or an anniversary. You know when those dates are. Your partner knows when those dates are. There is just a deep care in again, with each other and with what you're making and in really celebrating that. Let's see what else we've got. All right, 3 came out here. Meant to be. Yeah, you two are meant to be. I am kind of getting like the ease in which these things come together. There is an energy of ease here where, like I talked about when we were getting into this Ace of Pentacles, that it's like it just starts out with a conversation. For I think a lot of you, or it's that energy of like, oh, it's just like, it's not serious. It's not something you set out to do. It's like you just have a conversation and realize, oh, hey, this works for me. Like, that's a cool idea. What happens if we try that? I feel like that's kind of your, like the dynamic of your relationship is it's this meant to be energy where you're kind of just like, will this work? Should we try it? And it's just this kind of effortless ease. And I think it's also, again, it's rooted in trying things. Like there's no pressure. It's just meant to be. Like that's where it just comes together and you just kind of move through things like, well, we'll try it. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. And it's meant to be. Support. What have we been saying? This care, there's a lot of support here. I don't think we need to go into this anymore too much more in depth. Like this is just a very supportive connection. We'll put that there. And we've got love. Yeah. This connection is rooted in love. It's rooted in love. It's rooted in care. It's rooted in support. Like, this is just such a beautiful energy. And that's what really feeds into your life together. That's what supports your life together. Like, this is the foundation. We've got one that flipped over. Is that a second card that flipped over? Maybe not. No. Okay. We got one more for you. There's one. Okay, reconnect. I actually think this is a really great strength of your relationship, is that you are constantly able to reconnect with each other. So even when you are, like if you are doing this business thing together, even when you are in the height of whatever this is that you've strategized and planned, you are always able to come back and reconnect. That is something that I think is really valuable in your connection. And that's also like, that's why these celebrations are so important to you, is like they are a point to reconnect. And with surprises, there's a lot of surprises in this connection, but I also think there's just a lot of surprises in your life together. There's a lot of surprises, like as you move through things, it's this meant to be energy that I think you're both willing to lean into, is that if it's meant to be, it'll work out. If it's meant to be, it will be. And when you lean into that, yes, you allow for good things to happen, but you are also making space for surprises because you're not forcing what you want to be. So I think this connection, there's even more surprises in your life together than we see here, because you are just so open to whatever is meant to be, and you're open to trying, and you're open to just seeing where life will take you. And that's just a really beautiful and expansive energy to be in. So on that note, pile number 4, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would really love to have you in future videos. If you would like a personal experience, again, there is information linked in the description box below. Those future spouse personal readings and are available for the month of February, and they are on sale for the month of February 2026. So if you are interested in those, you can go ahead and grab those. If not, there are readings listed all year round, so you can find those, again, linked below. And if a reading is not for you, but you do want to support the channel, there's also a donation link in the description box. And donations are never expected, but they're always appreciated, and they go to help grow and support the channel. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.